Hey guys! Welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm gonna show you around where I am at. This is basically our office. At the same time, I also stay here from time to time just because it's like the general quarantine edition of this video or of working. So, I get tired of going home every time when in fact I can just stay here because I have like a lot of stuff that I can use in sleeping and I will cut that part. So I'll share with you one person who's been really hardworking and been very passionate about what she's doing, and we're gonna have a quick chit chat with her. So this is Mary Grace. Charing. This is Irene.
Oh,
she's just very fresh. Look at her face.
hi everyone, welcome to the channel.
And also, I'd like to encourage everyone to follow her channel.
Yeah, follow me.
That link above. So thank you guys. So she's very passionate. She's still at work and it's already like 10.
And
I'm gonna show you around the space outside. So this is where we accommodate our applicants. But right now, since it's the pandemic, we don't accept applicants on site because we make sure that everyone's safe. So we do everything virtually. So they apply virtually, we do everything, even the job offer virtually. As you can see, there are also markings just to make sure that we follow distancing and all those things. So yeah, there's a lot of colors. There's yellow, green, red. So that's how we brand the company. Those letterings up there. So yeah. So thank you so much for watching. So for today, for this part or segment of the video, I'm gonna give few tips on how to ace interviews during recruitment process in a BPO setup or BPO setting. So these are basics, but just to share my background, just to make sure I establish my credibility in terms of how. Well, giving tips. So you might ask, oh, am I an expert? Am I experienced in terms of interviews? Yes, I've been in the industry of BPO for 7 years. I've been in the recruiting and interviewing and recruitment department for 6 years as well. So I started as a recruiter, got promoted as an officer. So most of my time spent in the BPO industry is on recruiting. So I would say that I'm confident, and I can certainly say, well, it's in my own terms, but you can also use this term. I'm an expert in terms of evaluating candidate fit in terms of applying for a job in the BPO industry. So yeah, I'll start with the first step. I think it's not rocket science, guys. I'm telling you, it's just very basic. It's more of a mindset games. It's not you have to be this and that to make sure that you pass. I remember my first interview. I was even just talking about what I do when I'm not attending classes. I was just talking about my extracurricular activities at school. I was telling the interviewer about what are the things that I enjoy doing, and I even mentioned that aside from academic responsibilities, I was more into activities in school, and those are the things that I really mentioned during my interview. And, again, it's not a rocket science, depending on the position that you're applying for, right? But for the sake of this video, this is an interview for an entry-level position in the BPO company, especially in the operations part, taking calls, agent position. So first tip is, number one, you have to really make sure that you know what you're doing, what you're applying, and what positions you have, the skill set that you have. Thank you. So you have to make sure that you know how to showcase what are the things that you can do and the things that I'm not gonna say it's things that you cannot do, things that you think you can still improve on. So for example, if I'm asked, what are the skills and capabilities that you can share to the company? So I would say, I'm very confident. I'm a person who really loves to interact with people. I'm a very social person. I think I have a strong interpersonal skills. So that alone is something that would speak and amplify to the interviewer that, hey, this person can get along with a lot of team members or with his team members. So that one. And if there are things that you think needs improvement on yourself, then just be honest in saying that, hey, I think I still have to improve more on this area. Say for example, for me, I have to improve more on being keen to details, but you can also mention that, but I'm trying my best and I'm really learning every day to make sure that I improve that part. Because there's no perfect person in every industry and every job that you're applying for. And I think being honest is one thing that would speak a lot and louder in an interview, per se, louder, quote unquote, because that shows who you are. And avoid being too scripted. I know that preparation is very important, preparing and practicing, but it's not like, don't do it too rehearsed. Like it always pays to be like genuine when you answer questions. Just like how I do my video right now. I'm very genuine with sharing my experiences. Char. Alright, so next step, I will give 3 tips just for the sake, like for this video, because there's a lot, but you know, we can't cover everything, because I make sure that my video would only last for 5 minutes. That's my requirement. Number 2 is, this is something that like, it's my strategy. So every time I interview, I make sure that this is the goal in mind. I want to make sure that my interviewer is really engaged with the interview. I make sure that it would just let her feel that, or him feel like it's just having coffee in a Sunday afternoon. That's always my goal every time I do interviews. I don't want to make it too formal, too technical, too intense. Although the topic can be intense, but you have to make sure that when you are doing interviews, or when you're being interviewed by an interviewer, your goal should be he should enjoy it, at the same time learning a lot from you, your skills and the things that you can do for the company. So yeah, always, I don't want to use the term entertain, because you don't necessarily have to sing and tell jokes during the interview. But what I'm trying to say is make sure that the interviewer would enjoy your conversation. Although there are interviewers who are really strict and would always make sure that they have a poker face and they don't give emotion to their questions and how you answer the questions. But I think you would know and you would feel that the interviewer gets interested in the topics or the things that you mentioned about yourself when he's leaning forward and when his eyes would really glow when you mention things about yourself or stories about yourself. So those things. And you know, interviews doesn't have to be really technical about your background. You know, you can share personal experiences that you think helped you become the person that you are right now, and things that made you like that. Even your failures, or the things that you've done in the past that you think were not the right choices, but made you decide better. So I think those things are also very interesting. So a personal touch plus So a personal touch plus facts about yourself that would help you ace or get the job that you want are, I think, things that are important to discuss during an interview. Alright, and last thing, you have to thank the interviewer, and it's also important to ask questions and details about the application process. Like say for example, if you're told, hey, this concludes our interview, thank you so much for your time. Do you have questions? So those are like the usual closing spiels from the recruiters. What you need to do is to thank the interviewer as well and ask for like, how would I reach out to you if I want to know the details, or do you have time as to when you will give me feedback. So those things would really show an impression to the interviewer that you're really interested for the job and you want to know details after your conversation, which is the interview itself. Alright, so that's about it. Thank you so much for watching my video, and if you want related contents, you can click the notification bell, or of course you can subscribe and watch out for my next videos. Thank you and God bless.